you came here for a behind-the-scenes look or a tutorial or something, we're gonna get there. In fact, I'm gonna talk about a couple productions that I did this last month. But before we do that, I just want to give some context. Last year, I started working for a company full-time. It's called Bronxton. I'm part of this marketing team, and it's very small, and we're wearing a lot of hats, and we're learning a bunch of new things that all live under this marketing umbrella. And we have a big goal, and we are working really, really hard to achieve this goal. And it's really exciting. And I want this channel to be specifically about filmmaking, and I think over the past few months I've become a better filmmaker, and I want to sort of document and share some of the things that I'm learning, and I hope that someone finds value in it. The first video I want to go over is one that I've been calling Forever Blue, named after the song that I used in it. I was really inspired by this song and by some of the jewelry that we have. I thought up this concept, the lyrics of the song sort of coinciding with the color of the jewelry, and then I was like, oh, and we should get a model with blue eyes. The main character is this woman, and she's like chasing this ring. She's trying to grab it, and she just is never quite there, and it's like this romantic idea playing off the words of the song, without you I'm forever blue, and she's like haunted almost by this idea of her with the ring, and she's trying to grab hold of it, and it's just like never quite in her hands. So let's take a look at it. It's a little less than 60 seconds. It's pretty quick, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about what went into making it.
Life's a coat of many colors. It is never black and white. Can't have one without the other. The dark without the light. Forever blue. Forever blue. I'm putting on a show for the world to see. No one will ever know that without you I'm forever blue.
It was a really, really fun and challenging video to make. It required a lot of compositing, and it required a lot of forethought and a lot of pre-production and planning, because I shot all the rings on the green screen in one session and then shot the model in a completely different session. And so I had to sort of think, how am I going to want this model to be acting and interacting with this ring that I'm going to be shooting today, but she's not going to be here till tomorrow? And yeah, I couldn't have got this one done without the super, super useful Red Giant suite. Whatever it is, there's all the stuff pluralized, like, you know, the whole suite. It's amazing, and I would highly recommend anybody get it. It pays for itself, I think. Supercomp was like a lifesaver in this, and there's a lot of these features that are built into Supercomp that allow you to do certain things like light wrap and like adding a little bit of glow and like haze that just help really like cement this ring into the scene. I think, I mean, I'm not like a master visual effects artist, but I think Supercomp makes it relatively easy, and I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. To be able to essentially figure out how I want one of these comped rings to look, and then be able to just apply all these same settings to a bunch of different rings. I mean, it seriously made the process so simple, and I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. I think this is probably one of the cooler things I've ever made, and I'm super proud of it. Next is a video that we made for the fragrance that we have. My coworker, she showed me this other cologne video, and it was pretty cool. It had like studio shots of the cologne that were in color, and then the models were, you know, on location, and it was in black and white. We stole that idea, but added our own spin to it. I got really inspired because I came across some other random YouTube video of a guy in his backyard, and he had like taped a rubber hose to his speaker and then was like playing specific frequencies through it, like really low frequencies through the speaker that would like vibrate the hose. That mixed with the frame rate on the camera and like the shutter speed and stuff, it would cause the water to like create this zigzag pattern and freeze in midair. And I was like, this is amazing, this is such a cool thing. We should, you know, combine these ideas to make our own idea, you know, to make our own thing. So we're not just taking from one source and ripping it off, we're like combining a bunch of things, and it's super cool. And I think that's a great way to get inspired and to find ideas. It's really important to just like have your receptors open at all times when moving through life, because you never know when something's going to pop up and it's going to be that thing that adds to the thing you're trying to make. You know, whenever you're doing one of these like weird, rigged up, sketchy little things, it's always going to be problem after problem. We were having problems with the pump, and I kept having to like siphon the water through it to get it running, and like so messy too, like water everywhere. And it's so fun though, right? Like such a cool creative way to spend half a day. Like, let's set this up and let's try to make this happen. It was pretty cool. And you know, again with this, it's like, okay, let's try to like take it a step further and see what we can do storytelling wise. And I guess what I was trying to go for with this one was like, there's two people and there's this energy or this chemistry that is inspired by the fragrance, right? And so I was trying to show that in as many ways as I could, sort of like, you know, two people, they're like intimate and interested in one another, and there's you know, like I said, chemistry there, and there's this energy there. I'm always showing the audience this water feature in twos, so it's always paired up, and it's always like these two things that are like in sync, you know, and like this energy's pulsing through it, and they're like moving through space together, and the energy is affecting both of these things. And yeah, again, I don't know if any of that stuff actually like comes through in the video, but it's at least more fun to think about stuff in pre-production in that way. And so when you're going through the motions, you know, you're able to keep that stuff in mind and like sort of inject that feeling into the piece. And whether or not that same feeling is experienced by the audience is debatable. I mean, again, like I said, I don't know if I did it justice, but that was my intention with the piece.
All the different frequencies moving everything, constantly shifting.
Okay. Oh my god. That was an experiment.
Definitely was.
Wow.
You'll have to.
So, yeah, that's that piece. I was calling it Fragrances and Frequencies. It sounds so dumb. I don't know. That's like the working title or what I was calling it in my head. But, yeah. And I suppose this video is sort of brought to you by Bronxton, unofficially. I'm not asking you to go buy anything or do anything like that. I just want to share what I'm learning at work every day when it comes to video production. It's so cool that there's over 400 subscribers on this channel. That's so crazy. You know, I always look at my YouTube studio, and to see people subscribing even though I don't regularly upload it, it's like, I don't know, it's cool and it's encouraging. And so thank you for subscribing if you've subscribed. if you liked the structure and vibe of this one, drop a like. And if you have any questions about any of the videos that I talked about today, definitely leave a comment. I'm really excited to continue this sort of journey, and like I said, we have big goals, and I'm confident that we'll be able to achieve them if we just continue working hard.